Hey, sweethearts, it's your girl D Shields, and I am back. Welcome again to another season 3 episode. So we're back. This time we're talking more tea with D, and we are talking the one and only most popular topic happening right now. So let me give you guys just a little bit of an intro, and then we're gonna go right into what I have to say on this. As you can probably see from the title, I'm going somewhere with it, right? I'm going somewhere with it. And I do want you to join the discussion. So I'd appreciate it if you will chat in all the comment areas. So I am live right now. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you, Amazon Podcast via Amazon Music. Thank you, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the list goes on and on. Spotify, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast platform, wherever you listen to podcasts, that's where I am. So I'm saying thank you to all of you. Chat back. I am D Shields across social media. All lowercase. I am DEESHIELDS. Please chat back. Right? So today we're talking Lil Nas X, right? So Lil Nas X is out the and here's what everyone is having to say about it, right? So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to bring you into that fill in the blank. I'm going to fill that blank in for you in just a moment. But let's just get an intro. From days prior to the most talked about album in decades, I said what I said. To the highest streams in decades, I said what I said. This album has been epic. The marketing to release the album has been epic. Everything that you want in a marketing team and an artist has happened with Montero. So, Montero, we love you. And we're going to talk about some comments that you made on a popular podcast. We're going to talk about that. And someone brought that to my attention earlier. I went to take a listen to the clip, and I saw something that I would like to say that I've been seeing since Old Town Road, but I saw something and I thought, you know what? Let me break it down for him, Lil Nas, because the way that you answered, maybe that kind of threw them off. I got you, Lil Nas X. So we're going to go right into that, right? So Lil Nas X release of Montero has the professional and not so professional critics buzzing. Let's have a discussion about this comments that are across all of the social media platforms at this point. Let's have a discussion about it, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in. And I would love if you guys will chat back. I cannot say that enough. So I'm going to make sure that I keep that open. And I want you guys to take the time to share your thoughts with me and give me a little bit of feedback of where you stand on the topic. Right. All right. So here's where we're going with the topic today. Again, we are talking the one and only Montero album. Why? Because it's what everyone else is talking about, right? So a lot has come out of it. I'm not even sure where I want to talk. Do I want to talk about the controversy, or do I want to, like just go straight in regarding the controversy because I have a lot to say on that, or do I want to talk about the good that came from the millions of streams that happen? Because here you guys are looking at an artist making money, and in some opinions going to all costs to make money, in some opinions not caring at all what happens when he brings in the money. And this is some of the thoughts that are out there that are being shared across social media. But there's some good that happened behind those streams, and a lot of you may not be aware of it, right? So I wanted to make sure that I did that for you guys, that I brought that in. But here's what I wanted to say. Let's just go into the real tea, because I'm gonna lose all the people that I'm gonna lose a lot of people when I say this anyway. So let's just go ahead and go into the tea, get that tea over with, and when I get that tea over with, then we'll go into everything else, right? Does that sound fair to the audience? Cool. All right. So I told you, I led you guys into this discussion by telling you Lil Nas X is beyond out the blank. Here is what it all means. So in the opinion of a lot of people, you guys believe that Lil Nas X is beyond out the. I am not talking about the closet right now, boo. That's just where your mind went with that. I am not talking about Lil Nas X being out the closet, because there should be nothing wrong with this man coming out the closet. And some of you guys also feel that you were misled to liking an artist based on he didn't share this with you until after. I'ma take you to the Montero, right? Can't no more, right? So you guys are upset because you're saying, well, wait a minute. Old Tyrod had his back. That dude was epic. He broke in and, broke the barriers when it came to black people being in country music and all that. But wait a minute. I had no idea that he's gay. And then an extreme amount of homophobia comes in because you take this very same artist with the same heart, with the same voice, with the same talent, with the same skills, and you dismiss him because he comes out the closet and says that I'm gay. And now you all of a sudden think that he's not a good artist. But you got to think for a moment, go back to my YouTube where we talk about the extreme homophobia that takes place. So when I say what I think that he is beyond, Lil Nas X is beyond out the box on it. Like, Lil Nas X is out the box beyond any level that we've seen an artist do in a long, long time. Now, I'm not going to credit Lil Nas X for being the only artist to do so, because I believe that he would stand with me and say, there are some artists that opened the door for me to take these extremes, right? So Prince opened the door for him to take these extremes. Michael Jackson opened the door for him to take these extremes. I don't know, what's his name? Like, it's a host of different people that came out many, many decades ago that had to go somewhere and do something extreme. One person that I am constantly comparing Lil Nas X to, which is probably like, what? The music wise, it's not a music thing. But I'm comparing his experience to that moment when, what's his name? Tevin Campbell came out the closet. Right. And so remember how everyone was and the reactions and just so many things were going down. And I'm just going into this thing, like looking at how people are responding to him and going, wait a minute. But Lil Nas X made some comments, and I'm not going to take a long time on this topic as we drop a little tea with D. Thank you so much for coming in. I want to let you know that I have a page for the More Tea with D episodes, and it is on Instagram. So can you please make sure that you also follow More Tea with D? All you do is type in More Tea with D, see my beautiful images, and you know that you're in the right place. Can you make sure that you follow that, because the More Tea with D episodes are up and popping. This is where we talk the popular current topics, hot topics, with celebrities, and mediocres and reality TV and up and comings, right? So this is where we have a discussion about what's going on in their life in the More Tea with D episodes. So thank you so for supporting these episodes as well. So listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to move out the way with the whole discussion on it, but I do want to respond to something that he said that was from the extreme. But I can imagine someone that did the epic marketing, that participated, like really literally put his all into the whole marketing of the Montero album, to see someone to be out there and to do so much and to literally lose sleep probably at this point, and to see so many people coming down on him and not, just giving him credit for talent. So what happened to just really appreciating an artist having talent and skill? You can't listen to Montero album. You can't listen to that album and not be that dude in the viral video. Did you guys see the dude in the viral video? He's at the traffic light and he is okay, hold on. Let me go to the album real quick because I want to make sure that I quote it right. But he's so he's at the traffic light and he stops and he gets out and he dances to this one, you guys. But I don't want the album to play in the background. So give me a minute. Let me make sure that he got out and started dancing the scoop. Have you seen that? And there's a 18-wheeler behind him, and the dude just start he starts scooting across the street. He's dancing like all in front of the car and everything, because that scoop is the ish. Like, you are with the shit if you do not agree with the rest of people who love music and say that song is not everything. If you have not listened to Scoop, then shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you for even saying that you have any type of love of music and not at least listen to the things that are happening in this song. If you don't have to agree with the lyrics, which is what that happens when you have an artist that you don't particularly care for the things that that artist is talking about. But when you go into the genius of production, you can give production some major credit in that song, right? I wish I could play it for you guys, but I'm not gonna play it on here because I need to make sure that I get a DJ mix of, and to be able to play those things right. Industry, baby. It is what it is. My favorite is the barriers that were broken with That's What I Want. Like, he broke so many barriers. He brought up to the table some controversial topics that are so true in all of this in one video. But I also had a good time on YouTube with the talk show. The talk show host who had this whole sex of chocolate, he had this whole thing going on. That was Lil Nas X, right? And then he was interviewing pregnant Lil Nas X, who's about to deliver Montero. So he's delivering him, and you just got to go to YouTube and watch it, everything that debuted that night. But he's delivering Montero, and he's about to go through it and have this baby album, and the water breaks on there. And then he's also the audience member. So when did we in the Black community have an issue with the epic skill of only pop culture being able to do so well outside of Mrs. Doubtfire with going into different characters, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall style? When have we ever had an issue with this? This kid is multi-talented on so many levels. Like, he has a lot of skills, and homophobia is dismissing one of the greatest artists of all times. We cannot do that. Lil Nas X is beyond out the box. He is breaking barriers. And let's go ahead and get into what you guys want me to talk about, because it is about that time, and I only have a few minutes to talk about it. Okay, so he gets on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God, and they're talking to him, and Charlamagne tell him, Montero, are you sure you want to say this? But look, he gets on the Breakfast Club, and they were asking him, of course, paraphrase what the people are saying about the position of being a role model for their children, and Lil Nas X not being a role model, and he's doing all these different things that's upsetting to parents everywhere. And I tend to have the question that a lot of people have, right? I'm sorry, I was over in the background looking at one of the platforms. I'll get back to you guys on. So I have the questions that a lot of individuals have, right? And my question becomes, when I was the type of parent, at one point I was really strict in the church, right? And this is at a time when my children were younger, and I remember being so extreme and so lost and so carried away with religion that I remember being where I just went in my children's room and took away secular albums that I had purchased. That was my money. My children didn't have jobs, so I remember going and purchasing, taking away all the secular albums and said, we're not going to listen to this. As for me and my house, we will serve God. And I remember traumatizing my children with that. I remember thinking back when I came out of that lifestyle and got more spiritual in nature. I remember saying, you purchased those albums for them. You had the control of that. But then do we really want to take away the beauty that is music, and how each individual ear will hear what is for them through the art of music? Right? So again, I say Lil Nas X is beyond out the box when he goes and makes the comments. And he did, technically he did and he didn't. He did it, he didn't. So he did say kill children, but then he was like, I don't really mean kill children. So he, he cleaned it up. But what I will stand behind an explanation needed on that statement, right? Because sometimes you have to just have those people that come on, let's just break this down. You have an artist who went through an epic marketing movement epic marketing movement to put out the Montero album. He's tired. He's going from one set to the next. He's doing interviews. And then you hit him with the Lil Nas X, you supposed to be my kid role model. Hold up, right? Why do you have Lil Nas X as your child's role model if you do not agree with the things that he stands for? Lil Nas X is beyond that out the box because he's willing to put himself in a position to break barriers. He is talking about things that are uncomfortable. And that's what I want video. He's talking about this love affair that he has with an NFL player. God rest our souls if it is true, because that NFL player, you're about to be outed soon as the people try to figure out who it is, right? So he has this love affair with this NFL player, and he's just all in love, and he's thinking that it's epic, and he gets the flowers, and he goes to the house, knocks on the door, and the wife and the little kid, I don't want to, go watch it. That's what I want video. And then he just gets in the car, and he's this, this actor who is on the highest level of acting right now, and he's not even in a movie, and cries and hurt because the straight men led him on. And there are a lot of men out there in that lifestyle, in the gay lifestyle, that can relate to that moment. So what am I saying when I say all this? To say Lil Nas X has an audience, straight men. So you're not it, but who are you to be a creator, especially if you guys are creators or if you guys are artists? You need to just go, I'm trying to think of how D Shields could say this. There's no nice way to say it. Stay in your lane. Get the hell out of the gay lane, because he's not having a conversation with you. And if I were to go further, I would say, straight men, you already have something to do. Straight men are cutting up in straight households across the globe. Come for those straight men and talk about the things that they need to do to better their straight lifestyles and their straight marriages and their straight relationships, and get rid of those side chicks and those side gay Lil Nas X dudes. Like, all that needs to be, you got a conversation to have in y'all's lane, because this kid is putting out music to an audience of people who can relate to him. And if you watch Pose, the Emmy slept on Pose, but I'm not going to get off topic. If you watch Pose, there is a host of people living a lifestyle where people don't accept them for who they are. And Lil Nas X is opening up a wide road to them being able to walk with their heads up high to say, this is who I am, and I can't help who I am. And now I have some music I can rock to, and an artist that's putting out something that I can relate to. To That's What I Want, to Industry Baby, right? So Lil Nas X is beyond out the box. Is not going to be something that all of you can comprehend. But this guy is an artist. He's a genius. He is skilled. He has style. He has, without the songs, he has a tremendous amount of talent. And I'm watching that from watching this man get together with Billy Ray Cyrus. I'm going to take my, I'm telling you, like, everything that he has done. He said, bam, got that done, and conquered country music. While y'all having a trip, y'all going crazy. Lil Nas X may be headed to Broadway next. He may take over Broadway. Like right now, he is breaking barriers for gay men that have not ever. He's bold enough to stand in the shoes of and do things with his platform to say, I'm going to make it where all people are created equal. Sound familiar? Kind of what our country is supposed to be about. Stay on topic, D Shields. Do you guys get where I'm coming from? So Lil Nas X is beyond out the box, babies. Like, he's somewhere that not all of you can understand. There are going to be some creators that are going to say, man, you go, dude. I'm not creator. I'm that. I'm with the shits. Do whatever it is that you got to do, Lil Nas X, because I understand it. I am disappointed in any parent that has issues with the type of music and images and art that he puts out. If you have issues with it, why was your child, as he described on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God, why was your child able to type in industry baby, and why your baby know how to spell industry, and why your baby even was looking for it? Said what it said. You may need to go to counseling, working out some old type of issues that ain't got nothing to do with Lil Nas X. That's in your household. I said what I said. So He's right. The fact that your baby was able to go and type in industry baby on the on the adult, on the kids' YouTube, and that came up, that's an issue you need to take up with YouTube. YouTube is the one messing up your, whatever your standards are. If your guidelines for the channel says, hey, I cut this off, and it's supposed to be where I have parental guidelines, but my baby was able to type in industry baby, and the Lil Nas X images came up, and he's ruined my child's life, being the ultimate bad mentor. Yes, I understand why he got frustrated. He doesn't physically mean F your kids. Obviously, he loves the kids. Lil Nas X love the kids. He's always at the school. But let's get back to the good of the streams, right? So that's, again, if parents, if you don't get the message, then we need to have one-on-one life coaching sessions. If you don't understand why you can't take this artist or any other artist that you disagree with and put him on some platform and say, hey, do right by my kids. That's not his job. That is not his job. Your job as a parent, okay? So yes, Lil Nas X is beyond out the box because audience fans that listen to him, that are gay, that relate to him. He has an audience of fans that are straight. Here I am, loving the genius that is behind the production and marketing and the skills and the talent and the videos and a lot of other things that I learned to appreciate when it comes to music that have nothing to do with judging individuals. But that's something that I can help you with in life coaching sessions. Hit me up in my DMs. Let's talk about the good that's happened with the streaming. The streaming was epic. Ask anyone. Spotify will write you a letter. The streaming went beyond what many artists have been able to go. And he did so well with this. And by the way, this is not going to be available on Facebook. You're going to have to watch the repeat on YouTube, just for you guys that are listening on Facebook. So make sure that you know that. So the streaming was so epic, and he did so well, and he did higher than, I think within 24 hours, it was in the millions. I don't remember, maybe 42.3 million. I'm off, but close. And he did so high. The baby took the money from the streams and donated it to several charities. This kid has always impressed us when something happens for him. An artist that was sleeping on his sister's floor, struggling to get someone to recognize the talent that he had. And within a short amount of time, when he hit the scene, he blew up and created, within his own energy that he puts out, within his own hard work, made himself the Lil Nas X Montero success that he is today. And always from Old Town Road, he gave back. He went to the schools. He was with your children. You guys had no issues with him because you didn't know his status and what he was doing in the bedroom. And he was doing good things, and he took that and he gave his money away then. And now here goes just a few days after Montero drops, and he's giving the money away to charity and doing great things with the extra from it. So shout out to Lil Nas X being beyond out the box. He's an artist. You guys are not going to do this. Prince would be disappointed with you if you were doing this. Michael Jackson would be disappointed with you if you were doing this. You don't do this to artists. They have their own lane. They have their own fan base, and they do what they do. Sometimes they go to the extreme. Nicki Minaj with comments that need to be verified and controversial, highly in nature, to the point where it's life or death. And so that's not something that he's done by saying, your kid's mentoring. He was emotional. He was tired. He was really sleepy. He had just gave birth to Montero. I said what I said. All right, you guys, I'm out. Again, it's not going to be available on Facebook. After I am off of here, you're going to have to repeat on YouTube. So make sure you're following me on YouTube. I am D Shields, podcast lovers. I appreciate you for tuning in as well. Thank you, guys. I'm out.